I am teaching today from The Violet Flame to Heal Body, Mind, and Soul by Elizabeth Clare Prophet. The Violet Flame starts off. She suggests that we set aside a time each day to give violet flames. The violet flame is a decree that can be given anytime, anywhere, in your car, while doing chores, before going to bed. It is a mantra that we repeat all throughout the day to change situations. This is from her book, The Violet Flame, Alchemy for Personal Change, Elizabeth Clare Prophet. What if there was a secret that for thousands of years was known only to a few saints and mystics of East and West? What if this secret was so powerful and life-changing that it was taught by Yeshua and many spiritual teachers to only certain devotees, lest it be misused by mankind? What if it had the power to change your past, to erase your mistakes, to bring forgiveness and healing, and to propel you forward on your soul's journey? Today, this secret is a secret no more, and it is available to you and to people of all cultures and spiritual traditions who would avail themselves of it. It can change your life forever and the planet too. This once well-kept secret is called the Violet Flame. And with that, she suggests, Clare Prophet, Elizabeth Clare Prophet, that we begin our decrees with a prayer or invocation, asking the ascended masters, angels, and elementals to come in and help us. The elementals are the nature spirits of fire, air, water, and earth, who are responsible for taking care of our planet. They are only too happy to help us clean up both our auras and the planet with the violet flame. So with that, I ask that the ascended masters, divine ascended masters, divine angels, divine guardian angels, and divine elementals come and help during this session. Thank you. Also, we are to invoke protection while we are using this. The masters teach that when you bring forth more light, darkness is drawn to it as if by a magnet. So you need to seal your aura with the white and blue protective energy. One of the best ways to do this is to invoke the tube of light and the protection of Archangel Michael. Give your tube of light decree each morning and repeat it as necessary throughout the day. As you give it, visualize the dazzling white light from your I Am presence, the presence of divine source above you, forming an impenetrable wall of light around you. Your prayer to Archangel Michael can be as simple as, Divine Archangel Michael, help me. Help me, please. Archangel Michael embodies the qualities of faith, protection, perfection, and the will of divine source. He is the first ray. And we give these, we invoke the protection of the white light and the blue light to seal up our auras. She also suggests that we begin with a preamble. A preamble to a decree is like an invitation. In it, we lovingly ask the violet flame beings, ascended masters and angels, for help and guidance. The decree generally begins, in the name of the beloved, mighty, victorious presence of divine source, I am in me, and my very own beloved, holy, Christ self. And you can include your favorite masters or saints, anyone in there that you want to. You start off like that because you are connecting through your presence and the Christ consciousness that is inside of you. The I Am presence is our permanent, perfect, divine source presence. The Holy Christ self is our higher self and inner teacher who initiates and guides our soul on our path to union with the divine source. The preamble would sound like this. In the name of the beloved, mighty, victorious presence of divine source, I am in me, in my very own beloved holy Christ self, I call to beloved Saint Germain and the angels of the seventh ray. I ask you, and then you put in here what you want, I ask you to be with me, to help me during this time, and to help with the decree that I am asking for healing of my body, healing of the United States of America during this time, healing for all my family members, spirit, soul, and body, healing for my neighborhood. I thank you and accept that it is done this hour in full power, according to the will of divine source. Also, a decree could be, I am a being of violet fire. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity that spirit desires or divine source desires. A variation would be, Earth is the planet of violet fire. Earth is the purity that divine source desires. It could be Minneapolis is a city of violet fire. Minneapolis is the purity God desires. What you could put in there, whatever you want to put in. I would put in places that my family would live in, such as Philadelphia is a city of violet fire. Philadelphia is the purity that source desires. St. Louis is the city of violet fire. St. Louis is the purity God desires. Right now, we have situations that need to be taken care of. So I would say every city in the United States of America is a city of violet fire. Every city in the United States of America is the purity that God desires, or source desires, divine source. And with that, also in her book, there are other visualizations and decrees that could be given, whichever ones you feel more comfortable with. There is one that is Divine Source Presence, I am in me. Hear me now, I do decree. Bring to pass each blessing for which I call upon my holy self of each and all. Let violet fire of freedom roll round the world to make all whole. Saturate the earth and its peoples too, with increasing radiance shining through. I am this action from divine source above, sustained by the hand of heaven's love, transmuting the causes of discord here, removing the cause so none do fear. I am, I am, I am, the full power of freedom's love, raising on earth to heaven above, violet fire now blazing bright, and living beauty is divine source's own light, which right now and forever sets the world, myself, and all life eternally free and extended master perfection. Almighty I am, Almighty I am, Almighty I am. In her book, she says this: for your personal alchemy, here's a violet flame mantra that you put in your pocket. But don't leave it there. Take it out every time you have a spare minute, repeating it as many times as you would like. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity that divine source desires. Or you can say, I am the purity that God desires, or I'm the purity that Spirit desires, whichever one works for you. When you give this mantra, you are using the name of divine source, I am that I am, which was given to Moses. Every time you use I am, you are declaring divine source in me is. Divine in me is a being of violet fire. Divine source in me is the purity that it desires. It is an affirmation of your true spiritual being. It releases the fire of your heart to fulfill the purpose to which you send it forth. This is more than the power of positive thinking. This is the alchemy of the sacred fire. When we take the name of divine source, I am that I am, we are affirming our inner reality. The words I am are loaded with the power of your divine self. If you say, I am well, I am happy, I am whole, the fire leaps and makes a cycle through your mind and heart and soul. You set a positive pattern for the energy to flow into. And similarly, if you said, I am sick, I am sad, I am unhappy, you create a negative pattern for the flow of energy. You can choose to be a being of violet fire. Today, people all over the world are giving this violet flame mantra. You can give it as a perpetual prayer as you go about your daily life. You can repeat it over and over until it sings in your heart, like it does for the young girl and her family in this story. Missed our busy family life. When my young daughter starts giving the violet flame mantra, I am a being of violet fire, I am the purity divine source desires, watch out. With a big smile, she inevitably starts dancing and singing to the violet flame. It's catchy, and the rest of us begin to laugh and hum along with her while doing dishes or our other household chores. If you start feeling tense, irritated and tired, heavy or burdened during the day, just say a few violet flames and you'll start to be back in the right flow of energy. Give it making breakfast, driving the car, washing the clothes, or taking a shower. Visualize your morning shower as a shower of violet flame. See the flame scrubbing your pores and passing through your nervous system, arteries, bloodstream, right down to the marrow of your bones. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity that source desires. Also, a very important part of this has to do with forgiveness. And the decree is this: I am forgiveness acting here, casting out all doubt and fear, setting men forever free with wings of cosmic victory. I am calling in full power for forgiveness every hour. To all life in every place, I flood forth forgiving grace. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity that source desires. For healing in the body, I call upon the law of forgiveness for this disease that is acting in me now. I call for the concentrated energy of the violet flame to penetrate the cause and core of this problem in my body, my emotions, my mind, my memory, and in any records of karma from any past lives involved. Let the light of the violet flame flow through me. I accept my healing now according to the divine will. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity that divine source desires. Another mantra, affirmation, more of an affirmation to connect you to your I am presence and help in time of need. I am presence, you are master. I am presence, clear the way. Let your light and all your power take possession here this hour. The light of the divine never fails. The light of the divine never fails. The light of the divine never fails. And the beloved mighty I am presence is that light. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity that source desires. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity that source desires. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity that source desires. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity that source desires. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity that source desires. Right now, in the name of our mighty I am presence, I send healing, forgiveness, understanding, and wisdom into various areas of the United States of America that is in discord over situations that have happened. I send healing divine fire to Minneapolis, to Texas, to Virginia, to Philadelphia, to St. Louis, to California, to Oregon, to Washington, to Detroit, to Chicago. I send the violet fire to these places. I transmit all negativity, and I am invoking divine archangels to come and take the source of this discord and to transmute it to divine source so that it can be dealt with in a manner that deals with unconditional love. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity that source desires. The United States is a country of violet fire. The United States is the purity that source desires. The earth is a planet of violet fire. The earth is the purity that divine source desires. I invoke the presence of our guardian angels in each and every one of us. I invoke the presence of our higher self. I invoke the presence of our guardian angels to work with our archangels. I invoke the presence of our divine beings. I ask that our earth would be filled with violet flame, that Michael the Archangel would come and free us and bring deliverance to us. I ask that Archangel Raphael would come with his healing team and heal our spirit, soul, and body. Heal our land, heal our animals, heal everything within Mother Earth. I invoke Archangel Gabriel to help us to learn how to communicate through our divinity. I ask that the Ruach Kodesh, the Holy Spirit of Truth, would help us to remember that we are divine beings having a human experience on planet Earth. Help us to remember what contracts we made before we came down here and why this path that we are on is important, that we remember what we're to do, that we act on all of our talents and gifts and everything that we have been given, that we remember to respond out of unconditional love, that reacting is not something we do. In the process that we forget, I invoke the violet fire to cleanse and transmute all negative energy through any sources whatsoever. And I invoke healing all through our Akashic records, from our start with divine source all the way down through our divine creators, mother and father, God and goddess, all the way down to our natural human parents, all the way down to our ancestors, to where we sit right here and right now. Our intention is to be that pure and holy violet fire that we have access to. And with that, I am grateful to be able to share as a co-creator and using the violet flame, that I am a being of violet fire. I am the being of divine love. I am a being of violet fire. I am the being that Source desires. And with that, namaste.